Hello everybody, Aaron Sports Cards here, and today I'm going to be doing a video response for a contest that Bluejacket 66 is doing for 500 subscriber giveaway. I want to start off by saying congratulations, Dave, for the 500 subscribers. I love your videos, love all the vintage cards and all your extensive knowledge of these old players, and very impressed by all the material that you show, and I look forward to all your upcoming videos. Didn't have too many vintage cards that I felt would be appropriate for a response video, so I decided I'd just go ahead and share some of these really cool Cooperstown collection patches that I ended up getting handed down to me from my grandfather's collection. So as you can see, starting off, we have the 1988 Los Angeles Dodgers patch, which was from the last year that the Dodgers actually won a World Series. So that one's really cool. Next up here, we got a 1916 Brooklyn Robins patch, which they later became the Brooklyn Dodgers, as everyone knows. I guess they went through a series of name changes way back in the early days, and the Brooklyn Robins was one of them. A very common misunderstanding is that the Dodgers were at one time called the Trolley Dodgers. They were never officially called the Trolley Dodgers. That was just sort of a nickname that was given to them. They were always either the Robins or the Dodgers, or I'm drawing a blank as to what the other names were, but it was decided that they were never called the Brooklyn Trolley Dodgers. Okay, moving right along. Next up, we have a patch from the 1985 Kansas Royals. I'll go ahead and read off a little bit of what it says here. The Royals were created in 1969 as part of the American League's expansion from 10 to 12 teams. In large part, Kansas City gained the new clubhouse. The new club became one of the political pressures exerted on the league following the 1967 defection of the Athletics from Kansas City to Oakland. With the exception of the New York Mets, the Royals reached postseason play more quickly than any other 20th century expansion team. In 1976, 1977, and 78, they won the Western Division title, only to be defeated each time in the AL Championship Series by the New York Yankees. In 1980, they won the pennant, but lost the World Series to the Philadelphia Phillies in 1984. The Royals won another division title, but World Series hopes were dashed when the Detroit Tigers took the league playoff series. Fans had high expectations for 1985. Just give you a brief summary of some of the information on these cue cards here. So yeah, these are actually some really cool patches. I was stoked. My mom pulled these out of some boxes that had been buried away for years, and she said, hey, you might want to go through this stuff. It looked like your grandfather had belonged to some sort of club or membership where you can order these patches exclusively, and he was going for it. He got a whole bunch of them. I don't know if he got the whole collection, but he sure did get quite a few. Here's the 1975 Reds. I always thought it was pretty interesting how a lot of the teams shared the same C symbol for their team logo. I know that the Minnesota Twins use that in their logo, as well as the Chicago Bears. Speaking of Minnesota Twins, here we are with the 1965 Minnesota Twins. That's a really cool looking patch. Yeah, I think these are really cool. I've actually given a few of these away as gifts to some of my friends. I give one friend that's a Yankees fan the Yankees one that I got, and I gave another Cubs one to another one of my co-workers. He seemed to really appreciate that. And actually, here we are with another one, 1908 Chicago Cubs. So yeah, these are cool because, you know, you could go ahead and make yourself a pretty cool sweatshirt or sew it onto a Letterman jacket and have like a really cool, authentic, you know, original piece of sports memorabilia that you will not see anybody else wearing because it's custom. So that's always a really cool thing. I'm sure you'd have to get like a custom seamstress or someone that knows what they're doing to put it on the jersey properly and whatnot. But I think it would be really awesome to see some of these on some clothing of some type. That would be sweet. This is an interesting one. 1953 St. Louis Browns. Of the 8 American League franchises that existed over the first half of the 20th century, the Browns were acknowledged as the worst team, finishing 10 times, 7th 12 times, and 6th 11 times. Their overall winning percentage of .433 between 1902 and 1953 included only one pennant, and that was in the war year of 1944, when talent around the league had been devastated by the military draft. The team was the object of ridicule and is remembered as the instigator of bizarre promotions. The St. Louis Browns were the inspiration for the rhyme, first in shoes, first in booze, and last in the American League, making reference to the fact that the city was known for its production of footwear, alcohol, and a losing baseball team. Despite all that, the Browns had their stars. The most accomplished of all was the first baseman George Sisler, who earned his way to Cooperstown by batting .340 over a 15-year career, 1915 through 1930, spent largely in St. Louis. Another future Hall of Famer was the defense magician shortstop Bobby Wallace, who played 15 of his 25 big league seasons with the Browns. Pretty cool, huh? Really interesting looking patch. Kind of reminds me of the character, I think his name was Gizmo from the Flintstones cartoon. Wild. Okay, next up we got a 1994 Professional Baseball 125th Anniversary patch. That is really awesome. Check that out. I wouldn't mind getting that sewn onto something. That's a sweet patch right there. Next up, '60 Kansas City Athletics. That's really cool. Just went and saw Dumbo last night, so it kind of reminds me of that. Okay. 1956 St. Louis Cardinals. Awesome patch. Love how the bird's up to bat. Wonder if he strikes out or gets a homer. You never know. 1969 Seattle Pilots. The Pilots joined the American League as part of the 1969 expansion to 12 teams. They turned out to be the first major league club since the 1901 Milwaukee Brewers to last only a single season, but were far more notable for some of the colorful personalities on their roster than their last place play on the field. No wonder you don't recognize that logo. Didn't last very long. This is an awesome one. Check that out. 1939 World's Fair. That's pretty cool right there. Next up, try to move through these pretty quickly now. I'm just reading off the ones that aren't very recognizable. 1943 Stars and Stripes. It's a cool, like, homage to America. America. All right, next up, 1960 Washington Senators. Nice. Not to be confused with the Washington Nationals, who were originally the Montreal Expos, later became the Nationals. This one looks like it has a little bit of water damage on the card, but the patch looks like it's in great condition, as are all of these. 1869 Cincinnati Red Stockings. (1979) California Angels. That's a really cool looking card right there. I mean, a patch, not card. Love the state of California symbol there. Pretty sweet. Next up, 1969 Professional Baseball 100th Anniversary. Nice. And now here we are, 2019, for our 150th anniversary of Major League Baseball. 1966 Baltimore Orioles. I always love this symbol here. This logo is one of my favorites in baseball. That cartoon character makes me want to smile every time I look at it. Next up, 1951 National League 75th Anniversary patch. That's pretty sweet. That'd be cool to be put on a hat or a side of a jacket or something. That's really cool. Next, oh man, good old American racism at its finest. Look at Jesus. 1948 Cleveland Indians. That's funny. 1951 American League Golden Anniversary. And last but not least, 1925 National League Golden Jubilee. That patch is enormous. These are all really high quality, and they actually look like they were made the year that it says on the description here. So I hope you guys enjoyed these patches. Thank you very much for the opportunity for these prizes. Dave, thank you once again for your great material and great videos, and hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon. Happy collecting.